Hello, hello. I don't know why you say goodbye. I say hello.
Hello, hello.
That's funny. Did you hear me? I'm just making it funny. Hey, it's Christian. Christian sister, for the time has come. I don't know. I'm just making that up. Is that the way the song goes? I just kind of threw it out there. Hello, hello. Did he hear it, Mason? Did you hear me say that? I don't know why I say goodbye. I say hello. Thank you guys for showing up. So cool. I'm glad everybody's a good sport. I'm just trying to have fun. As you two would say, I'm just trying to find a decent melody. So I appreciate everybody dealing with me. Just change the lyrics. So we have 1 minute to go. So maybe what I'll do is I'll try to sign on about 3 minutes before. Hi, Caroline. How are you? And blessings to you as well. There you go, Sister Christian. I think that was the song, if I'm not mistaken. So I think you are correcto mundo. Wow, I dropped 3 people already. People are not happy about the humor with the Bible. We need to be very serious and very focused. Hey, fake person. Good to see you again. No, I see. It's literally fake person shows up every day. I don't know who fake person is. Maybe fake person is representing all the other fake people out there. Okay. Let me see. I think we are possibly we're ready to rumble. Speaking of which, we need to get on to rumble. So, what I did is I decided to go through Genesis 8, 9, 10, Matthew 4, 12 through 25, Psalms, and Proverbs. So we're going to do this a little different, make it a little more maybe analytical, which actually plays more to my personality. I like to think about, what the process is and so forth. So going through Genesis 8, which is with regards to the flood and Noah, he sends the dove out. The dove comes back with an olive branch, then comes back, and then he waits another week, and then the dove gets sent out again, doesn't come back, and then the flood is over. I think it was like 10 and a half or something, maybe 10 and a half months, 9.5 months. And then a couple more months, the flood is completely over. God decides to say, you know what, I'm going to make sure I never do this again. And I'm never going to destroy the land with a flood. But about 2,000 years from now, there's going to be some real bad communists that are going to try to destroy the world with a virus. I had to do it, folks. I had to do it. We're not going to get you with the flood. We're going to get you with a bug. And so I do think it's a little weird that I wish they would have wrote that in. Not only will we not get you with the flood, we're not going to get you with the bug. But anyways, the Chinese decided. Thanks, Donna. At least someone gets my humor. So, anyways, with this covenant, and once again, I've never really analyzed and studied the Bible. That's funny. I thought you had a different Bible. No. It's the Bible everybody's reading. I just kind of I've been reading it very critically, which is not something I've done before, where I'm trying to analyze it and think about it in the context of everything what's going on in the world. So going through, I can't help but think. Now, keep in mind, I know a lot of gay people. I've known a lot of lesbians. I know a lot of people that are bisexual over my lifetime. I'm pretty old, so I've met a lot of folks in the LGBT community, and and then I'm bringing this up because when I look at this, this with regards to Genesis number 9, and I see that God said we'll never destroy the earth, and He's going to create a rainbow to show this fact. it kind of ticks me off a little bit. And this goes out to all my gay friends and lesbian friends and everybody else that, hey man, if you know that hundreds of millions of people in the U.S. and billions of people around the world use, the rainbow has a very significant spiritual meaning to them with a covenant with God that'll never destroy the earth. I think you guys were just jerks to try to hijack that image. It's inappropriate, and I think that's pretty disappointing, frankly, that they used that image. And frankly, I will never respect that image, that they took it and they hijacked an image that was kind of like a trademark of God and a trademark of Christian values for 2,000 years. It's illegal to use the trademark from Coca-Cola. I can't just start using Coca-Cola. I can't just use Pepsi's logo. So where did they get off thinking that they should be able to use the rainbow? If that was literally in the document, that's 2,000 years old. Anyways, I hope this doesn't get this episode banned. I didn't say anything inappropriate, but that's funny. Allegretto, there he is. There he is. All, that's cool. But anyway, Allegretto, I see you all the time too. So thank you for showing up. So I'm just saying that I just thought about it. I was reading it. I was a little disappointed. I think we've been sold a bill of goods on this whole thing with them hijacking that symbol. So I think we need to take it back, and we need to say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to what do they call that? Hold on a second. Hold on. What do these liberals like to do right now? We're going to cancel you. We're going to cancel any images with that. We're just going to block it. Block the image. We should black it out. So you know what? You don't get the rainbow. You get the black go. It's just going to be black. And up yours for taking that image, especially if it's been in this document 2,000 years. Now, I got to tell you, I've been Roman Catholic my entire life. I've gone to church so many times. I never saw that connection before reading it with a critical mind. So I guess sometimes this stuff pays off. Maybe I'm going to be hated by a bunch of people and I'm going to be loved by another group and everybody in between. But I don't think it's an appropriate image to be hijacked. That's just my 2 cents. So I don't make the world go round. So odds are it's still going to be used. I'm just going to ignore it. So we're going to both get our way. So basically, let me see here. We just want to go to the next thing here. So we're going to go to Matthew. So, I just covered the part of Genesis 8, 9, and 10. And then I'm going to Matthew. And the big thing here, and come follow me, and I will show you how to fish for people. And, it's an interesting story, right? Because, I think when I first heard that, being taught how to fish for other souls, fish for other people, you're like, oh, that's kind of neat. and I'm going to bring up an example that hits home with my life. So I happen to have a sister who is, a little bit older than me, even though she acts and looks younger than me. So I look older than her. That's right, sis. So I'm not going to say her name, but if she's listening, you look much younger than me. And so thank goodness for that. But she had no idea that I am religious. Like she kind of like saw some of these streams coming through. I talk to her all the time, have dinner with her all the time. I mean, she's one of my favorites. She is my favorite sibling. Okay. And she's the one I mentioned in my Arizona testimony. And she's like, I had no idea you were this religious. And I'm like, well, why in the world would you not know if you never asked me? I'm like, so she never asked me how religious I was. And we never discussed religion. And we're siblings. And we grew up with the same parents, with a mom that prayed the rosary every single day, at least once a day, probably 2-3 times a day, with a dad that said, you know what? If somebody has a problem with your religion, tell them to pound sand. I'm just kind of, I'm politically correcting the language here. He didn't say pound sand. He was a little harsher than that. But anyways, between growing up with a mom that prayed the rosary and with a dad that said up yours to anybody that had a problem with him praying as a cement finisher, he would throw down. He'd beat your ass if you told him that he couldn't pray or read the Bible, and not that he's going out and trying to tell other people to listen to what he had to say, but I'm not going out in the street or in the public sphere. I'm right now I'm on the internet. People want to chime in. Thank you guys for coming. If nobody shows up, and I was just talking to Christian about it earlier today, I just need just one person, and I'll keep showing up because I think Christ, in the Bible, there's multiple stories where towns are saved if there's just one innocent soul. So as long as I have one person willing to listen to me, aside from my wife, right, Nicole? Then I will be online talking about this, and the core reason is that it'll keep me going to make sure I finish my 365-day commitment. So we're only into day number 4. So for everybody who's out there, you got another 98.5, 98.8% of this to go. So, prepare yourself. This is going to be a long 361 remaining days. But anyways, going on to the next piece of Psalms 4. Actually, I want to read this one out because I really enjoyed this one. And I think it's very relevant to what's going on in the world today. Answer me when I call to you, O God, who declares me innocent. Free me from my troubles. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer. How many people feel like that right now, right? Across the country and across the world. How long will you people ruin my reputation? How long will you make groundless accusations? How long will you continue your lies? I mean, can you believe this? 2,000 years ago, and they foretold the mainstream media in the United States. It's unbelievable. Groundless accusations. Continue the lies. I mean, not just in the U.S., but worldwide. That they knew that when scummy people acquire power and wealth, they're going to lie and they're going to do groundless accusations. And it's absolutely amazing that they talk about it. Here we go, right here in Psalms number 4. So super cool. Even if someone who out there is listening is not religious, what do you got to say about that, huh? What do you have to say about this being written 2,000 years ago and it applies today? That's right. Get back to us. You can be sure of this. The Lord said, apart the godly for himself. The Lord will answer when I call to him. Don't sin by letting anger control you. Think about it overnight and remain silent. Now, here's the deal. A lot of us get pissed off. A lot. Especially nowadays. So if you can disconnect from how pissed off you get, just go to bed and sleep on it. You'll probably save a lot of friendships, possibly some jobs. Some people lose their job being upset at the wrong time, and a lot of other things that go bad. So this is great advice just period. And that's one of the cool things about the Psalms is it teaches you to just use some good old-fashioned common sense of things that are universal and apply to like 95% of all situations. Anyways, with that, offer sacrifices in the right spirit and trust the Lord. Nobody wants a fake apology. Nobody wants a fake thank you. You have to be in the right spirit. You have to really be sincere. And I think that's what that statement means. Many people say, who will show us better times? Let your face smile on us, Lord. You have given me greater joy than those who have abundant harvests of grain and new wine. That's right. Material goods, it's nice, but I got to tell you, you can buy the thing that you've wanted your whole life or thought that you really wanted and cared about. And after the initial excitement wears off, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. But what's pretty cool is if you have a wonderful relationship with your kid or with your spouse or with a friend, and you just see them and they smile at you. It never wears out. If anything, it grows stronger over time. So that's a very important thing to remember, that you do not need any material things. These are all falsehoods that are pitched to us through our emotions to make us feel as though we should give our energy to something that gives us no other energy back other than a quick little hit. And so it's extremely important to know. You have given me greater joy than those abundant harvests. Okay, grains of new wine. Now that being said, this is very appropriate right now. You guys ready? Here's a good wine that somebody made about 4 or 5 years ago. They gave me a bottle of some wine they made. They made a case of it. And I got to tell you, they downplayed it, but it was really, really good wine. So I hope you guys are having some out there as well. Not this particular vintage, but your own wine. In peace, I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, O Lord, will keep me safe. Okay. So now we're going to go to wisdom shouts in the street. She cries out in the public square. She calls to the crowds along the main street, to those gathered in front of the city gate. How long, you simpletons, will you insist on being simple-minded? How long will you mockers relish your mocking? Man, how does this not apply to everything going on right now? Like, there's so many people right now who don't want to think about what is going on in the world. They're in a state of denial. And then how many of these mockers will continue to mock? We've been mocked by so many different angles, nonstop, all the time. And it just continues to build. That they're almost like they're relentless. You got to give them credit. They will not let up. They continue to mock everybody. How long will you fools hate knowledge? All you have to do is ask any single person in Congress right now. How much longer will they hate knowledge? Because they sure as heck don't look at knowledge, and neither do a lot of the politicians across all our states either. I just saw somebody today in Illinois who literally can't put a sentence together very well, was on a panel where it was crickets being asked basic questions about the function of government, announced that she's going to run for Congress. I'm not even going to say who it is, but I will tell you this much. They're in Illinois. If you want to go dig it up yourself, they're clueless. They're under 30, and they have no business holding any kind of political office because they've never had a job for more than 12 months. But they happen to be easy on the eyes for some people. I will give them that. And this individual, it's pathetic that they're even being considered other than a talking piece, and the media likes to make a circus out of it because they have no life experience. They have no job experience. They have no family in terms of like actually managing a family household. They probably live in the basement like somebody named Lauren the Underwood, who's okay killing babies 1 minute before they're about to be born. And they're going to run for Congress because they have some people that will raise money for them because they happen to be, it's a woman. So, women get a little more money right now if you're running for office, and they happen to be a minority. So if you're a minority, you get a little bit more money too. That's the wrong reason we should ever elect any politicians. It should be based on merit. It should be based on life experience. And what do they bring to the table to better our lives? And so this is a mockery. So when I see this, it turns my stomach. It's disgusting. And if you speak up against it, you'll be classified for speaking the truth. They'll try to mock you. They'll try to say other bad things about you. And I got to tell you, I don't give a shit. So sorry if you guys are offended by that, but I really don't care. There are idiots that are supporting people like this, and I'm going to call out these idiots when they run. And I don't care what party they're part of. They don't belong running. Go get something done in the real world, and then let's take a look at you. But until then, get the hell out of here. That's not nothing wrong with saying get the hell out of here, right? Okay. in the Bible discussion. So anyways, go get into hell maybe. Come and listen to my counsel. I'll share my heart with you and make you wise. Well, you can't make somebody wise that's that foolish to run when they have no business running. Okay, on that point, oh man, we're out of time with this one. This one's done. We're done with day 4. This happened way too fast. See, this is what happens when I walk through the things and just kind of make sure I hit the points in a logical manner and don't ramble. So I'll tell you what, since it's only 20 minutes, we'll keep it under 30. Would anybody like to ask questions or add some insights that we could discuss? Please type them. I still need to figure out how to set this up so that I can maybe add, 1, 2, 3, 4 people. And anybody who's signing out, because I just saw the numbers drop by 2 or 3 people. If you drop out, God bless. Thank you for chiming in. I appreciate it. I hope you found it entertaining at a minimum and maybe picked up a couple things that you thought were cool. But I have to catch it on replay. I was late. It sounds good, Pink Piglet. But anybody have any questions or anything they would like to add to this? Anyone? Christian? Fake person? Let's see. What was the name of the show you little girl watched to learn math? Okay. That's called Peg and Cat. It's a really good show. It's called Peg and Cat. It's awesome. If you have, what's that? Fred Rogers. So remember Fred Rogers from Mr. Rogers? Same company has that. So absolutely love it. It's really cool because even the background of the show, unlike my gray wall when I do my morning videos, like the gray wall where people think like I'm in prison. I'm just kind of like checking out of my cell to do a quick video. It has like, I think it has infinity symbols and other math symbols. What's that? Yeah, graph paper, but they have a lot of different mathematical symbols on the graph paper, which is awesome. So thank you, Sarah. Thank you for chiming in. I appreciate it. Milking me for comments. Okay. How is the funding for new equipment? So right now I'm at about 80%. So the deal is I've raised 16,000 of 20, and I'm going to upgrade it to a server. So right now the initial equipment cost, I think about 11,000. The server is going to be about, the server and the server rack and everything is going to be about 16 to 20,000. And so what that will allow me to do is, number one, not spend more money later to have to upgrade it. I'd rather just get it done properly. But I'll be able to get into a situation where, people can remotely log in that are volunteering. So anybody who's listening to this podcast that also sent me emails or messages on LinkedIn, I am still trying to respond to all of them. I'll try to get something out, hopefully in the next 2-3 days. I'm really sorry I don't have more time. We're trying to hire somebody right now to help with this. The company that I have and my wife and I we're trying to hire some people to do this. But as soon as we kind of get the equipment and get everything up and running and get some metadata, I want to make it so that people can log in and actually maybe pull some of the data or set up things to push the data out to everybody. What's the name of the Bible study plan that you are doing is a question. I am doing, if you go to, it's called the 1 year Bible plan, and I'm using it on YouVersion, which I saw has almost 500 million downloads, which is unbelievable. 500 million downloads. Okay, the series The Chosen is really good to watch. I hope you can double the speed. I like to watch things at 2 times the speed. I don't know, Mason, if I could do that, but I'll definitely check it out. My wife is definitely lovely. Thank you. Her name is also Nicole. So we have our we have a son coming. We're gonna probably, officially we haven't given our son the name that we finally have chosen until we see what he looks like, because you don't want to name your kid if he doesn't look like the name you gave him. just Anyways, that's my opinion. You never want to name them until you really see it, see your daughter or see your son. But we have a few names, and Isaac happens to be one of them. And I love that name because of Isaac Newton. And actually, Isaac is kind of pretty interesting because the story of Isaac in the Bible with Abraham, I didn't even think about it. That wasn't why I was looking at that name, but it's definitely a nice correlation. And so, Christian worked on the chosen. The link to donate is on it's on Gab. It's on I put it on Telegram. It's on You America at Twitter. So I am on most things. I'm at Bobby Piton, just like this, just together. And then I have an account on Twitter again called You America 333, and I'm also on Twitter as Bobby Piton 333. But I'm on Gab. I'm on Parler as Bobby Piton. I'm here as Bobby Piton. So as a rule of thumb, I'll try to pick Bobby Piton unless they give me grief. So consider spelling it Isaac. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Izaak. Babe, if you want to think about that, instead of a C, a K. Yeah, we definitely look at that. Allegretto, are you Italian by chance? There's a naturalist named Isaac. You're in regular touch with Liz in Arizona about her efforts there. I used to speak with her multiple times a day, but we haven't spoken regularly in terms of daily. Depends on your definition of regular. Have I spoken to her at least every week or two? Yes. I do speak to her probably at least every 1 or 2 weeks, or she'll text me and we'll talk. I haven't been keeping up with everything in Arizona because number one, I've been kind of going back to what my focus is, which is my job after spending, about 3 months on this election stuff. But I'm still committed to seeing the election process through with regards to all this additional research and metadata. Once I get the equipment purchased and I set aside a certain number of hours, I'm not going to take any pay. I'm going to help organize all the volunteers. I think there's about 1,000 of them now across the nation. So I'll take the time to organize and figure that all out. And then if I need to get some space rented and hire some people, I might do another follow-up type of fund me. But just to be clear, I want to really I want to open source it all, so everybody knows where the money's going, every penny, because everybody has a right to know if they donate. So I'm not a big fan of donating money to charities that don't want to show you exactly how it's being spent. I deal with publicly traded companies, and if they have to tell you everything that happens with billions of dollars, and they have to show you and they have to sign off on it, and the executives are liable, then charitable functions should also do that. I'm tired of all this, this fuzzy math or fuzzy accounting. Requiring ID for absentees. I did not see that. That's great news. It's wonderful to see. Thank you, Nicole, for letting me know about that. One must not only believe in Jesus, but also obey him. You believe that? Yeah, I absolutely believe you have to follow the word, but that's the beauty of free choice. You're given a choice to obey, and if you don't obey, consequences tend to happen in real time. Some might refer to that as bad luck. All I could tell you is whenever I stray from what I know I should do based on the teachings of Jesus and the Bible, I don't know, I always tend to get kicked in the butt a little bit of grief, and a little bit of pain, a little bit of aggravation, something. So I completely agree with that. Sede vacante. Let's see, Bobby. There are rumors about Trump is still in control. Any thoughts or insights? I haven't seen any evidence that this is true. Do I think it's possible? Yes, I think anything's possible. Do I think it's very probable? let's just say that if there was no gating or fencing around the White House, I think it would be less probable. So take it for what it's worth. There's gating around there. Why is it there? If there wasn't, I think it would be less likely. But there is. So I'm not exactly sure why it's there, but something's up. Okay. So that's one thing. The other thing is, why does Bolshevik Biden not fly around in the presidential plane? I don't know. It just seems a little odd to me. I know I'd want the top plane if I was president. I would want to be flying around in first class plane. I wouldn't want to be flying in the coach presidential plane. So that's a little bit of an issue. I think. So that's number two. Number three, let's cut to the chase. Do you really think Bolshevik Biden is president? There's a side of me that's like, I just don't believe it. I don't think that we have stooped that low that we would allow that to happen. So there's a side of me that thinks the whole thing is a bit of a hoax. And what I guess what I would say is, if you look at World War II, and I use this example a lot, nobody knew about the Normandy beach landings, right? We didn't go and tell the world. We just kind of showed up and landed on Normandy and kicked the shit out of the Germans and got into Europe to take Europe back. So we didn't telegraph it. We didn't tell anybody. It was a secret mission. And so there's a side of me that thinks there could very well be a secret mission taking place, and only history will see if we're right or we're wrong. Maybe how we're feeling is the way a lot of people felt back in 1942, 43, 44, as these things were happening. We just don't know yet. We're in the middle of the storm. We're in the middle of the battle. So, that's one thing. Same with the nuclear weapon. When we were building the bomb to make sure that we didn't lose 2 or 3 million soldiers trying to take back Japan, it basically, nobody knew about that either. Even the people building the bomb didn't really know what the heck was going on. And so, the people building the bomb weren't in the know. So what I would say is, if something is truly going on, I really don't think there's a lot of people that know about it. We're all speculating at this point, because if they didn't tell anybody that was in the middle of helping build a bomb, why would we know what they're doing with the military operation? So I guess my long-winded answer is, I do believe something's up, and I think that it's greater than a coin flip. How's that? I think there's greater than a 50% chance that our military is in control, and that all this whole thing is a facade. And if the Chinese are listening to me, they can pound sand. Is all I could tell you, or pound rice. Actually, don't pound sand. Pound rice. The communists, that is, not the innocent Chinese people. So depressing. We Georgian. Oh, okay. So, you're in Georgia? Yeah, Nicole, Georgia's a mess. It really is. It's a really bad state. So much corruption. These people all need to get locked up. Yeah, CT. I was banned from Twitter for WWG1GA, even though I'm not officially part of any movement with regards to that. I do say things. I love that catchphrase that made them think I was somehow an organizer of this entire movement. So I'm just somebody, just an American patriot that's digging into stuff. And I guess if that means that, what I dig up means that we're going somewhere that we all want to go, I guess that's why they're classifying me that way. Dude, it's a shame to have someone who calls themselves a pastor not to be able to answer my question. First of all, I'm not a pastor. I don't know if he's talking to me, little Dairy Queen boy or Dairy Queen girl, but your language is not appreciated, so you're no longer going to be here. So I just blocked that person. because I never held myself out to be a pastor. I'm just a citizen who happens to be a Christ follower and Roman Catholic, and so that's that. Okay, Florida, God save us. Yeah. Gillum was just that's Obama's twin brother, whatever. Those two have a lot in common. So God bless DeSantis and you guys not having to deal with that. Nevada's a mess. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Massachusetts is a mess. The communists have hijacked a lot of our universities. We need to kick them all out. We need to pray for everybody. So that's great, Pink Piglet. I'm new to this channel. I'm Catholic, and I didn't know you're a Catholic too. Yeah, I definitely like to say the rosary. I say it every day, even if I don't say it publicly online every day. Same here. New Jersey has been corrupt. Yep. Yes, it is. New Jersey is a mess. So is that guy that, shut down the roadways for some stuff. What was your governor's name? That guy is a joker. He looks like our Governor Pritzker. Chris Christie looks like him and the governor of Illinois right now, J.B. Pritzker, they have the same chef. Look them up and put them side by side. You'll know what I mean. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. Not that I can't stand to lose a couple pounds myself. Yep, Krispy Kreme. Good job, Mike. I like that one. Krispy Kreme. Yeah, Nadler waddles to the Krispy Kreme place. Actually, I think sometimes he gets rolled over there to eat a couple more donuts. Let's see. Murphy lives close by. Don't trust Christie anymore. Nah, he's a horrible person. I think he's just he's a bad hombre, as Trump would say. That's a bad hombre, Christie. So, does anybody else have any questions or they want to add something? Because if you add something, I'm more than glad to read it out. What was your takeaway on these, these readings from today? If you have any, or you know what, we could change it up. Right now, it's Bible discussion. But if you guys want to ask me other stuff, I'm kind of feeling in a festive mood. My wife is doing some work on the other computer, so I'm more than happy to talk. So if you guys want to ask me other stuff, non-related to the Bible, I'm more than happy to answer it, as long as it doesn't get me banned. Okay. Well, once I go 60 seconds without a question, I think I'm going to call it. Just giving you guys a heads up. You make the reading come to light. Oh, I try to make it fun. What do you think about Kim Clemente prophecy? That's actually pretty interesting. I've watched it. I will be setting up a Rumble account. I haven't set it up yet. Do I need a computer to volunteer? No, you will not need a computer to volunteer. If you want to log in and see the metadata, you'll need somebody's computer. But I will have volunteers that will call people that are volunteering. But I do like the prophecy, and I do believe that there's people that have second sight. I happen to have second sight. I've had it for quite the majority of my life in varying forms. And I don't know how to classify it when you see things before they occur, other than that's what they are, So where does it come from? I think it comes from God. And why do people get it or not get it? I don't know. I can't answer that. But I do believe that if it's the clip I'm thinking about, I didn't think there was anything odd about it at all. I think he did see some truth. It is definitely a gift, Mason. But it's also a pain in the butt. What do you think you'll hear about the lawsuits? What do you think about Team America Quantum Intelligence? I don't know anything about quantum intelligence. I'll have to look into it. But I think the lawsuits, I think they'll hurt Dominion more than they help them, and I think it should be beneficial when all the discovery process takes place. So I wouldn't really be worried about it. Pray for Powell tomorrow. Well, I think it's Friday for Powell on the lawsuit for the Supreme Court. But I do think we should still continue to pray for Linwood, as well as continue to pray for the nation. So if you guys want to join me in a prayer, I'll just do a quick little, glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, now and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. If you want to do a quick Our Father with me, and Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. For Linwood and the country, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, and forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Lord, keep Linwood safe on our behalf, on the nation's behalf, on your behalf. He's doing your work. He's trying to expose a lot of corruption. There's a lot of people trying to harm him physically, mentally, spiritually. And we pray that you keep him safe, and those that are dearest to him safe as well. In your name, amen. The Fed talks, for people that want to understand what the Fed's doing and how they're trying to take away more control from us, you should watch both Fed talks if you have the time. The first one that's about 7 this morning, and then the one in the afternoon. In terms of equality, and this whole Equality Act and all this stuff being scammed on us by the states as well as the federal government, it's a very serious problem. And that's something I'm going to have to do a separate broadcast on, because they're definitely pulling out all the stops to try to convert this country through its youth to a very corrupt and evil communist system. So it's a big problem. Chaplet of the Divine. I don't know that, so I'll have to look that one up. Chaplet of the Divine. Pamela Faulkner. Okay. Yep, definitely we need to protect all the whistleblowers, myself included. No, I'm not a whistleblower, but I hope if there's any negative ill will toward me, I hope it gets deflected, gets directed at the devil instead, or J.B. Pritzker, one of those two. He's not such a good guy either. And so, okay. Well, listen, with that, it's 9/11 in tribute of George Bush, who might have been behind 9/11. Anyways, I hope that doesn't get me banned, but we should definitely look into whether or not he had anything to do with it, or his family, which might not be squeaky clean. The burning bush. We get burned by the bush. The bush is. Anyways, so with that, on that note, thank you guys so much for coming. It's going to be another 361 days for everybody who wants to stick around and join me on this. For some reason, if I am out and about and I can't, do my broadcast at 8:30, I will let everybody know a day in advance and try to arrange it for people that are, trying to log in, and I'll adjust my schedule accordingly. But thank you so much for everybody. Yeah, Mike, I agree that your comment is very, very accurate. They purely are evil. I don't want to say their name. And I really appreciate it all. And I appreciate all the prayers. I appreciate the fact that everybody's, uniting to step up against evil. Kayleen, the Fed Talks are on my page on YouTube. There was one this morning at 7, and then there was another one this afternoon, and they're about 20 minutes each. And I kind of highlight, I'll just tell you one thing and I'm going to log out. But the one thing I will say in the first one, the net worth of the country went up by about $12 trillion last year, even though the national debt went up by $3 trillion. So to give you an idea how much money that is, there's a million millions in a trillion. So even though 10 million Americans lost their job, I want you to think about that number, all the people that 10 million people lost their job, which the net worth, how much more people in the country were worth, went up by $1.2 million for every job loss. And that's really disturbing when you think about it that way. And so to have every single American that lost their job last year, the overall wealth of everybody else went up by 1.2 million just doesn't seem right. And so it's a really horrible situation. Kind of hit on it and explain why the Fed is a pretty bad organization, and that we've continued to suffer under their tyranny for, I guess, a good part of 100 plus years now, since it was founded, I think, in 1913. So with that, have a look and then, at those clips, and I hope they're helpful. And God bless you guys. God bless your family and friends. May God continue to bless America, and may peace be with you. And if you don't have peace, I hope that you find it. And at some point, I will get a haircut. But this is the way my hair looks after I've washed it, believe it or not. So for anybody out there that continue to give me grief with the comments. So thank you guys so much for joining in. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow.